Hello again everyone, my name is James Shotwell, this is the Music Biz channel, and today we're going to correct a mistake. Specifically, what to do if you've bought followers in the past. No judgment here, whether it's followers or streams, people succumb to it every single day, but if it's happened to you, it's time to make some changes. And they're going to be hard, but they're ultimately for the better. So how did we get here? Everyone's story is different, but let's be real. For the last decade or so, every single one of us living online has experienced feeling like we could do more. Like we should have more followers, that we should have more streams, if we should have more views on our videos. And lo and behold, there are companies out there, hundreds of companies, that claim they can give you what you want for a relatively low cost. Now, whether you're buying 10,000 followers or 100,000 streams on your song, there are websites willing to take your money on the false promise of overnight attention. But is it really attention? I mean, I think one of the most important things that we can do is ask ourselves why. Like, what do we think we're going to get out of it? All right, let's start with buying fake streams. I mean, if you buy 10,000 fake streams for a certain premium, I don't know how much, let's say $25, is that really going to move the needle on your career? Because if I go to your page as a music professional, trying to learn what's happening with your account, and I see one song has a ton of plays, that will get my attention. But if I look at where those plays are coming from and your top city is someplace in the Philippines that I know you've never been and are not actively marketing to, I'm gonna see right through that. Similarly, if your other songs have this immense drop-off, so you have one song with 10,000 plays and the rest haven't broken 1,000, that's a sign to me that something funny is going on here. Also, I'm going to look at your other places that you exist online. I mean, if you have 10,000 plays on a certain song, but you can't break 100 Twitter followers, yet again, that's a big red flag. And the same thing happens when it comes to buying followers on any platform. It's very easy to tell if you're buying followers because your engagement just won't match. I mean, I think we've all seen accounts that have 100,000 followers, but every single post they have gets maybe 5 engagements. That's a big red flag. That means something is happening here that shouldn't be, because if you're demanding that kind of following, they should be actively looking for all the content you post. And yeah, you could go the extra step and also buy engagement, but now we're just spending money that we could spend on our careers, on writing and recording and buying merch, to throw it away on something that doesn't really exist. So again, I have to ask, what do you think you're going to get out of it? Nobody sees an artist with 100,000 followers who's only following 100 accounts and has no real experience making big sales online and thinks that's an artist that nobody has discovered yet. The first thought everyone in the industry has is somebody is trying to fool us. And you can't fool the industry. And more importantly, you can't fool the platforms that you are trying to figure out a quick fix for. Now, if you look at ads for fake followers or fake streams, you will see that they always promise that they are legitimate, that they are pulling from some source that nobody else knows about that can give you a bunch of clicks, a bunch of follows, a bunch of streams on whatever it is for a price. In fact, there's been a report about these click farms, I'll put it up here somewhere, that you can actually watch how this happens. There are all these devices hooked up to machines that are technically legitimately doing the thing that you've paid for them to do, but they're not real. They're not connected to a real person, they're not a real fan, they're not a real follower, they're not somebody who's actively engaging in what you're doing with your career, and they absolutely don't care about you. And you may think that you're able to pull a fast one on social media platforms, but for the last decade, their algorithms have been learning all of our behaviors. And you better believe that they have focused a lot of effort in understanding when somebody is faking their position in life. So if you're buying fake followers, if you're buying fake streams, the algorithm knows, and that runs the risk of 2 things happening. The first is an outright ban. We all understand those, they're very straightforward. You found out, you're caught, you're identified as somebody trying to fake your followers, your streams, your likes, and your account just gets deleted out of nowhere. This is a worst case scenario. But the other option is that these platforms may start shadow banning you. Now, if you've heard this phrase thrown around in the news, it gets misused a lot by people who are not getting the engagement that they think they deserve. But in certain cases, shadow banning is absolutely real, and it's happening to accounts that are buying fake followers, fake attention for what they're doing. When the algorithm figures this out, they start exposing those posts to less and less people. So a good way to test this would be if you have a bunch of fake followers, post some content and see what the engagement is like, see what the reach is like. Because if you're reaching less than, I don't know, 2% of your total following, it's a big sign that maybe something's happening behind the scenes with your account. Now, I'm not saying that somebody at Facebook or Twitter or Instagram is finding your account, clicking a button to make this happen. Algorithms are doing this automatically. They're learning our behaviors, and when something isn't right, it takes steps to course correct, to make sure that this thing that doesn't make sense doesn't continue happening, and that's where shadow banning comes in. And in either case, whether your account is outright deleted, or you're shadow banned, or you bought a bunch of fake followers in the past and you feel like you've gotten away with it, but it still feels kind of icky because it's pretty obvious that you don't have the following that you claim to have, there's one solution, and it's not going to be something that you like, but it is absolutely the right thing to do. Now, you're smart. I mean, after all, you're subscribed to this channel, or you will be when you click the button down below. So I think you probably already know where this is going. But despite what you may believe and what you've been trying to tell yourself, the best course of action when you've bought followers, been caught, or even haven't been caught, but feel that guilt of knowing that people who you want to take you seriously might not take you seriously if they start to look under the hood, the best course of action would be to simply start a new account. And I know that that's very scary. After all, despite buying followers, you've probably earned quite a few real fans, and you don't want to lose them in the transition. So I'm going to give you the 3-step process to doing this correctly. Now, the first thing that you need to do, obviously, is start that new account. And when you do that, make sure that you pick a name that's fairly similar to the one that you already have. So if your band is called Godzilla, for example, not a great name, pretty hard to make it in SEO, but let's say that we're called Godzilla. Our new account should be Godzilla Official, or Godzilla_official, or some variation of that. Something that if I'm Googling or searching on the platform for your account, I will find it when I also find the old account. That way I know that there is something I should be going toward. Number 2, you need to start populating that new account with content. And I say that before you start promoting the existence of the new account, because when you start telling people there's another account, they're going to be looking for it, and if it's blank, they might not follow, they might think it's fake, whatever it happens to be. So as soon as you start that new account, post some content, something that's new, something that's fresh, something that isn't found on your old account. And once you've done that a couple of times, you start to build that feed a little bit. Maybe you've got your story going every single day, if it's Instagram. Once you've got that done, start telling people about the switch. So if you're using Instagram, use your story to tell people to go follow your new account. Maybe make a post to the feed. You don't have to tell them why you're switching. Just tell them that a switch is coming and you want them all to follow the new account where there's something exciting waiting for them. That exciting thing would be all the content that you've already started posting. Something that will excite them about being on this new account and make sure that they follow it. Do this for 1 or 2 or even 3 weeks just to get people aware, make sure that everybody that could see it has seen it, and then make the jump. And when you do, go ahead and delete that old account. Archive anything that you absolutely need to keep, but just get rid of it. Just erase it from existence. Now, of course, this doesn't really apply if you've bought fake streams on Spotify or something like that. I mean, you're going to run the risk of being found out as a fraud no matter what. So again, don't do that whatsoever, because you can't just start another account on these platforms. They can ban you for life. But if it's social media, new account, new content, tell people it's coming, and then make the switch. And when you do, delete that old account, walk away like a fire you don't want to look back on, because let's face it, you don't want anyone to see that. Now, I know this is frustrating because you are an artist who feels like the world needs to hear your music. You feel like you need to reach more and more people with each post, with each song, with each tour, with each everything that you do. And I believe that that is true. Not only that you feel that way, but that you do deserve that. But if you start trying to take shortcuts, it's going to be transparent to everybody in this industry and a lot of people out of it. I mean, I think the general public is aware of the idea of fake followers, fake clicks, fake whatever. So when you do that, you're asking for trouble. You're asking for people to not take you seriously, to think that you're somebody who's not willing to do the work, who would rather just get the reward at the end of the day. And that's not how anything in life works, but especially the entertainment industry. The only people who really become successful in this business are the ones who develop a true engagement with their audience, whose fans are fervently devoted to them, and who they have a general exchange of ideas with on a practically daily basis. You can't do that with fake followers. They literally can't interact with you. I mean, you can buy engagement, but that's not at all the same thing. Organic growth is all that matters. And whether that happens at 100 miles per hour or at the speed of a snail, it doesn't matter as long as it's real. Now, I've been going on about this for a while, so I'll stop right now, but just know that we have a lot of content coming up. I know it's been a weird few weeks here, but we've been upgrading things. Got a new computer, got some new editing software, been traveling a bit, but we're back in action. We have a ton of videos coming, and I want you to be a part of it. Music Biz exists to help you navigate the modern music industry. Whether that be as a professional or as an artist, we are here for you, and we hope that you'll join everyone that follows us in having these conversations about how we can build a better, more effective, more successful industry for everyone involved. And if you feel the same way, please click that subscribe button down below. And if you already have, thank you so much for watching. I will be back very soon. And until then, take care of yourself because you deserve it.